You can't have a felon, a liar, a serial cheater. You know, he had Melania next to him, his third wife, who he cheated with Stormy Daniels on while she was pregnant. I think he stands against everything and flies in the face of everything that a Catholic believes and holds dear. He is not a faithful man.
Melania Trump's legal action has resulted in Sunny Hostin losing her seat on The View. It all began when Sunny made misleading claims about Melania during a heated debate on the show. While The View is no stranger to controversial topics, this time things got personal. Sunny's remarks weren't just opinions. They included accusations that Melania and her legal team refused to overlook. Reports suggest that Sunny brought up aspects of Melania's past, questioning her credibility or involvement in certain matters. And if there's one thing Melania is known for, it's defending her reputation fiercely. The legal battle that followed was intense. Melania's team argued that the statements made on national television were not only false but also defamatory, prompting swift legal action. ABC soon found itself in a difficult position, with insiders claiming the network feared a costly lawsuit that could spiral into an even bigger controversy. And just like that, Sunny Hostin found herself on the chopping block. Was this really just about the lawsuit, or was ABC already searching for a reason to remove her from The View?
I think she hates him.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay, so we can all agree on that. That's a given. I also think that she wants to take him out. She does not want to be the first lady anymore.
They agree with you.
She doesn't want to be the first lady. She destroyed the Rose Garden. Who hates Christmas? Melania Trump hates Christmas. She doesn't want to decorate for Christmas. She doesn't want anything to do with him. She doesn't want to sleep in the same room with him. She can't tolerate him.
Allegedly.
And she doesn't.
Yeah, how do you know all this?
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't know all this.
Allegedly. That's why I say allegedly.
As everyone knows, The View thrives on heated debates. But this time, the discussion took an even more intense turn when the hosts delved into Melania Trump's personal life. Much of the conversation revolved around her marriage to Donald Trump. The hosts speculated that Melania never truly wanted to be First Lady and remained distant from Trump throughout his presidency. They painted a picture of a woman stuck in a loveless marriage, doing the bare minimum to maintain appearances. Then came the sharper remarks. The panel joked that Melania and Donald barely lived together and that their marriage was nothing more than a business deal. Joy Behar even implied that infidelity played a role. Either Melania had her own affairs, or she simply turned a blind eye to Trump's rumored cheating scandals. But the one who took things even further was Sunny Hostin. Her remarks reportedly crossed the line for Melania. According to sources, Sunny suggested that Melania had been waiting for an opportunity to leave and was only staying with Trump for financial or legal reasons. She even made comments about Melania's past that were perceived as personal attacks on her character.
Dishonest, and it's a lot of lies that they've written also about me as my husband. And you need to defend yourself all the time. As you may heard, I filed a few lawsuits and I'm in the court now because they accuse me of doing stuff that I never did in my life, and they wrote lies, and I will not allow that. I will fight till the end because I don't want that they damage my reputation and my name.
Not long after the episode aired, Melania Trump's legal team took swift action, filing a defamation lawsuit against The View and ABC. In the complaint, they argued that the statements made on the show were not only false, but deliberately intended to harm her reputation. The lawsuit accused The View of spreading damaging misinformation, claiming the remarks went beyond mere opinion and crossed into defamation. Melania's legal team insisted that these weren't just casual comments. They were allegations serious, enough to affect her business dealings, public image, and overall legacy. But the most shocking part? The lawsuit sought a staggering $900 million in damages. That's right, nearly $1 billion payout was at stake. When news of the lawsuit broke, many assumed it was simply a legal tactic to pressure ABC into an apology. But Melania wasn't bluffing. Despite critics doubting whether such an enormous case could succeed, the court ultimately ruled in her favor. Legal experts now call it one of the largest defamation settlements in history, a massive win for Melania. The ruling didn't just validate her claims, it also threw ABC into full-blown crisis mode.
this is not normal. And is it really shocking that all this egregious violence goes against my husband?
This is where things took a major turn, because it wasn't just about the money, it was about accountability. After the shocking court ruling, ABC executives went into full crisis mode. A massive defamation verdict against one of their most high-profile shows meant the network had to act fast to control the damage. According to insiders, ABC's legal team immediately started strategizing ways to contain the fallout. The biggest concern? This case could set a precedent. If The View could be successfully sued over controversial remarks, what would stop other public figures from taking legal action against them next? Making matters worse, Melania's camp wasn't backing down. Reports surfaced that her legal team wasn't just after financial compensation, they wanted consequences. Behind closed doors, discussions reportedly took place about ABC holding certain hosts accountable for the false statements. While Melania never publicly called for firings, sources claim her team made it clear they expected action. ABC found itself under intense scrutiny, facing backlash from major figures in both media and politics. Critics accused them of reckless journalism, and the network knew it couldn't afford another lawsuit of this magnitude. So they started evaluating which hosts had the highest legal exposure, and that's when the conversations about letting certain panelists go began. The first name on the chopping block, well, you might have already guessed it.
Saying in a statement to ABC News that this false smear following a 3-year criminal investigation should be viewed with great skepticism.
After years of being a prominent voice on The View, Sunny Hostin suddenly found herself out. But why was she the one to take the fall? According to insiders, Sunny's legal exposure was far greater than the other hosts. While the entire panel made comments about Melania, Sunny was one of the most outspoken. She didn't just speculate. She made direct claims about Melania's marriage, character, and alleged motives. Legal experts say it was Sunny's remarks that ultimately tipped the scales in Melania's favor. Unlike casual opinions, her statements were framed as facts, which made them far more legally damaging. So when ABC had to make a tough call on who would take the hit, Sunny was at the top of the list. But here's where things get even more interesting. ABC didn't want viewers to see her exit as a direct response to the lawsuit. Instead of making a high-profile announcement, the network quietly cited contractual disagreements as the official reason for her departure. However, behind the scenes, the story was very different. Some insiders claim Sunny was completely blindsided, realizing too late that she was being sacrificed to protect the network's reputation. Others say she fought to keep her position, but ABC's legal team saw no other way out.
Not change my viewpoint because it didn't win this election, but I will open my ears to people that said, I have issues too, and they're different from yours, and this is why. And I think that's why what she did was so important, because she and Donald Trump are rarely put in the same sentence. And the fact that she got responses of people saying, you both seem to care about the working class. We sit here not voting for Donald Trump saying, huh?
Yeah.
But like, there's a point there, because there were millions and millions of people that felt heard. And that's what I'm trying to lock into. It won't change my stance, or maybe it will. I'm open to someone trying to convince me.
That Donald Trump is good for people?
If that's what you're hearing, you're missing my...
Despite everything, Sunny has remained silent about the real reason behind her departure. And let's be honest, if she ever decides to speak out, it could turn into an even bigger crisis for ABC. But if you think this saga ends with Sunny, think again. The network is already considering more changes. With The View known for its bold and often controversial opinions, this lawsuit may force ABC to set stricter boundaries on what its hosts can and cannot say, especially when discussing political figures. Insiders reveal that executives are now reassessing just how far the show should go in its commentary. Some reports suggest ABC is rolling out tougher guidelines for discussing public figures, particularly those involved in legal matters. This could mean less off-the-cuff speculation and a stronger emphasis on fact-based discussions, potentially making the show feel more controlled and less unfiltered. But the biggest question remains: who else might be at risk? According to sources, other co-hosts are under review, and two names that keep surfacing are Whoopi Goldberg.
Way out there, that hat that you keep wearing, that red hat that says "Make America Great Again," that tells people that you go along with this. So you might as well just put a swastika on the hat.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Because we see it anyway.
Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg. two names that keep coming up in these behind-the-scenes discussions. Both women have been at the center of their fair share of controversies. Whoopi has faced backlash multiple times for her outspoken views, while Joy has never shied away from pushing boundaries when discussing politics and public figures. Although neither of them was directly tied to Melania's lawsuit, some ABC executives are now questioning whether keeping them on the show is worth the risk, especially if the network wants to steer clear of future legal trouble. But this situation is even more complicated. The View has already been struggling with declining ratings and increasing backlash in recent years. Some viewers feel the show has become too predictable, while others argue it leans too far in one political direction. So now, the big question remains: will Melania's legal victory force The View to clean up its act, or will the show dig in and fight back? And was Sunny Hostin's removal justified, or was she simply made the scapegoat? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to follow this channel for more updates.